Alright. Yes, hello. Excellent. Welcome to Halo Dude Hunt Segmented on Legendary. This is a speedrun where we basically play each section as fast as we can, and we string all those segments together to show what a perfect run might look like for this game.
Well,
and yeah, so I'm Cryphon, with me is Rocats, and if you don't know who he is, if you're not subbed to him already, you should definitely go do that, because he's the best Halo 2 speedrunner. He's not going to say it, but he is the best Halo 2 speedrunner by a mile, and without him, this definitely wouldn't have been possible nearly as fast as it was, so he's kind of a big deal, and yeah, you heard him. Say hi, my friend.
Everything checks out.
Yeah, hey guys, this is feeding my ego nicely, so...
Yeah. Move around a little.
Yeah, so a few weeks ago, we decided to give this a go because the last one was from 2011, and, you know, it's just only slightly outdated by a decade. And this is probably the last time anything like this is going to get anything like this is going to get done before past tools are available for this game.
Bingo! As you can see,
we're playing on the English copy for no particular reason, other than it's just the one we both had. And I don't have any more information here, so we're gonna watch this run.
What does Japanese actually say? Is it like 10 seconds?
It's at this point it's nothing. Most of the time say it was on Cairo in the hangars, in Armory, and you don't do the hangars anymore.
Go, son. Just remember, take things slow.
Don't worry, I'll hold his hand.
So Johnson, when you
lower the game audio a bit, they want. Okay.
Home in one piece.
Sorry, gun.
Did you tell them the final time, by the way?
I did not.
Well, you can
okay, good. I kind of wanted to keep it a secret.
It's fair. I know a couple people now just because, you know, we were updating them.
Maybe Lord Hood didn't give him an invitation.
Yeah.
It's fine, it's fine.
It's fast, to say the least.
Yep. So this is the tutorial level, and, well... There's nothing to it. It's not even the shortest level in the run.
Now look.
There's like 4 levels faster that we did, and I think another one could have been faster, but required a lot more effort. Who were all the runners? It was just Rocats and I, yeah.
No nails, weird chump.
Yeah, unfortunately. We were thinking about having Mono do the Banshee section too, or Nails doing the Banshee section on our little, but we just never got around to it, and bouncing audio was kind of annoying as is, so we just kind of, you know...
Something big's about to happen.
Went with it. Anyway, that was dumb. Here's the first level.
Here's where the run starts.
Yeah. Look at that crisp 233.
Alert! Boarders inbound.
Give a little context for pretty much the first half of Cairo here. In certain places in this game, you can run yourself into a box or a wall. And you can displace your hitbox a bit, and with enough displacement, you can clip through tiny walls. And, you know, it's pretty useful, but it's also really finicky, because if you're in void space for a while, you die. And you need your hitbox to, like, be offset enough where you can clip through both sides of the wall. So, there's pretty limited use in the run. But pretty cool. And yes, I did this level.
We use it on 3 levels, right?
I think so. Cairo, Arbiter, Oracle.
Yeah, that's all I can think.
I think that's the only ones that are in the run right now.
I repeat, this is not a drill.
It's kind of a good thing, to be fair, because ghosting is extremely boring to watch.
Yeah, it is. Look at this. You're just bumping into walls. But
almost as bad as butterflying.
Yeah. Butterflying stuff's moving around you, you know?
Yeah, true.
This is just, yeah, you get the idea. Anyway, here's the cool part of Cairo. This is a really fun thing to do, even if it did destroy my hands.
Come on, Chief, this way.
I think that slide through that hallway is a lot weirder on Classic 2 than you'd think.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this fly though. Especially because of the bounce at the end here.
Did you ever mid-air stop doing that fly, by the way? Because I did on H2A a ton.
I did a few times, not always.
Yeah.
I still love this drone section, because when I was doing it the first time, I couldn't get the double nade to work. I'm like, this isn't possible. And you're like, you just have a terrible seat.
Yeah, that was it all along.
It was it all along. I just changed it, and then it was so easy.
Bomb room pause jump. Here it comes.
I don't understand this whole pause jam thing. I've been on Twitch for a very long time. Bomb room was super lucky with the spawns as well. 4 reds and 2 blues.
Yeah, it's very RNG heavy. So fast though.
Just casual 514 Cairo.
So what was that, like a 239 Cairo?
Yeah, that was a 239. And then here's another really fun level.
Clear the crash site.
Yeah, for perspective, Armory was 233, Cairo's 239. That's just kind of my...
Yep. Super quick. Here's something I don't think anyone's seen. At least grabbing the sniper for these strats. This is a mono big brain strat from years ago.
Yeah, I really like this strat.
Oh no.
What the ladies like.
Sergeant, I need you on that.
I didn't turn off my sub notifications, I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna destroy my ears.
Oh, they aren't super deafening, I don't think. I would switch it, but I have to change scenes and no one wants that.
Good luck.
Because that means the
Yeah,
video
it's fine.
restarts. That big brain nade strat by Rocats. That saves like a second and a half. How did you
really
even
save
think
that
of
much?
it?
Carrier.
No idea,
That
to be
bridge
honest.
is the most direct route to the city center.
Anyway, so here we go sword flying.
Yeah, this strat looks kind of slow at first, but it does actually save a couple of seconds.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 overall
Chief,
compared to
the
good
carrier
driving.
just launched a wave of pods. They're inbound on your position.
This is a level we both did, kinda, just because we didn't know how much that saved. I just kind of showed him a proof
Yeah.
of concept. Then we ended up both trying it out,
Surprised. Confused.
and he kind of did a lower
Expected us to be
optimized
here.
run, but
Not
I ended
Yeah,
up
I got a
doing
rough draft.
humanity on
I ended
Earth.
up doing so many sections over just because I wanted to match him.
Odd,
go faster where I
but it
could.
does help explain
And that's
why
when I
they
realized
use a
that-
small fleet.
Well, I beat it by a lot, but a lot of that was driving too. But it's really where I realized that you're no joke, and it is very hard to keep up with you.
Thanks man, much appreciated.
I thought I had a good, nade cancel. I ended up losing
Yeah,
like
yeah.
3 seconds to you on yours, and I was like, what the hell
Yeah.
just happened?
It is really hard to land right up to the ghost there with that strat, actually.
Yeah. There's not too much more with Outskirts, it's kind of just driving to the end, so, pretty chill. I guess we could talk
I was
about the
kinda
driving
thinking-
paths here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Were you
I
gonna
was
go
just
with?
gonna say, I was thinking about maybe driving past the shadows like you do on easy. Would that even save anything? Or...
I tried that actually, and I think on H2A it'd be a lot better. But the problem with Classic is when you try to get back up on this railing here, is you lose a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of speed.
Yeah, they were really...
The hog gets caught. Wanted to, especially going off that ramp there. I think it's definitely doable.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
It's so surprising how long this level is when you just run past every enemy. Just so uneventful. It's chill, because Cairo can definitely be stressful and legendary.
Yeah. The first half of this level is personally one of my favourite parts of the game. I'm kind of a movement nerd, so...
Oh yeah, no, you've done amazing things on H2A for that. That is beautiful to watch. I wish Classic can sometimes do that.
Yeah,
All the
sometimes
stupid
it
jumps
does.
off of everything. Should we let people know how disappointing Metro is?
More, over here.
Yeah, well, I guess we could say it nice and early.
Alright, we didn't do Phantom Bump. Here's the reason why. It's not possible. You're welcome.
Yeah. The thing is, Mono says it is possible, but never provided a clip, so I really couldn't tell you, but I've tried it like 50 times, and you just get splattered every...
Yeah, and I did it a lot too. Anyways, I did that level. Rocats is this level now. You can see by the video
Yeah.
change.
Yes, this is my first level in the run. I thought it was going to be quite tough at first, because I did this on H2A, and it was pretty awkward to segment, but honestly, didn't end up being too bad in the end. Obviously, like we said, we skipped out on Phantom Bump, but it's still pretty fast now.
If Phantom Bump was doable, we definitely would have tried it, but we both put in hundreds of attempts.
Yeah.
And it was never possible, we never lived. Even if we did live, classic Phantom Bump works differently, so there's no guarantee we could have gotten a segment to the end.
Yeah,
without getting too nerdy with it. Oh, that final time was for Outskirts was a 351 IL, by the way.
So fast.
Game audio is apparently really loud. Still,
It's very
fine.
I thought we got
It's
it.
fine.
I thought we got it pretty
That's
good.
quite a welcome party.
I think
It's just audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of taking the usual Warthog driving path here, I get out and do a couple of sword flies, and it also saves time.
Yep. I love how these long, intricate sword fly chains end up saving. It's negligible. It's not negligible time. It's a couple seconds at this scale.
Yeah, it's not much.
It's super. It's a lot nicer to watch, yeah, than just driving.
Yeah, this part was pretty difficult. Actually, I had to chain 3 sword flies together of these jackal snipers, fly down to the ghosts as they spawned in, and then pretty much just pray that the snipers. It was pretty awkward. Yeah.
You had some struggles. Like you had a different fly map planned out there, but I guess that
Yeah,
second fly you just got
strat.
lucky.
This was definitely the hardest part of the run. The first Wraith, it's pretty much just a standard nade board like you were doing in IL or full game, but then to get the second Wraith to die really quickly while shooting not many shots into it was so awkward. But yeah, I managed to get it done in the end.
It looks so cool. This is one of the things I'm most glad about. Is just being able to do early cycle in some way.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to beat Scarab deload.
That was like theorized it could be done when I started running back in like 2015. I don't think anyone actually did it until last year.
Yeah. So this is going to look a little bit weird. It's not a splice, it's actually a teleport. So because you enter that the building from pretty much the opposite direction where you were supposed to be coming from down low, it teleports you to the stairs from where you're supposed to be coming from. So that's what that is. Here I'm just coming down to get a few extra nades and rockets for the Scarab clear. And we can do the Scarab board.
There's a Marine command.
You know what you should have done? I'm just kidding, you shouldn't have done this, but there's a way to moon jump just from the floor. It's in a really weird spot.
Oh really?
Yeah. Looks funny.
It's terror!
Should have done the super bounce, to be honest.
I don't know. No, I like what you did here because it gave me a cool YouTube thumbnail. Just the scare of staring at you. That looked amazing.
So yeah, I'm standing up here for a checkpoint for the Scarab clear. And this part's on a timer, so I'm not actually losing any time.
Yeah, you can't actually spawn these enemies in any quicker, and they have to die for the level to end. So you're just waiting. Doesn't matter how you get on the Scarab as long as you do it. It's a really nice
Nice little
clear.
cancel there, and all that has to die to end the level is these 3 weeks, and that's that.
Easy peasy, 13,
So that was
13. 352.
13:30.
352
Yeah, 352
Metro.
Metro.
Now we're on to Arbiter. I did this level. I wanted to go a little bit faster than I did, but it just ended up being so hard because the whole level is like one segment up until Glass Clip, and I just ended up kind of cutting my losses there, but it still looks pretty clean for what it is. Context, you betray your teammates at the start to save like 40 seconds of dialogue. It's silly.
Is it really that much?
I think it's like 36, but it's a lot. Or 26, but
Jesus.
it is a huge amount, definitely. Look at this elevator. This is another one of those sections where you just activate the elevator through the wall and you get to save a little bit of time early, you know. Coming up we have another ghost, and this one's a little bit different than the other ghosts we have in the run. This one you actually reset your hitbox in the middle of the floor, so the game tries to launch you out, and you're like falling in the middle of that, so it launches you down into the room below. And yeah, doing all of this, especially on Legendary in one segment, just living and going fast is kind of difficult.
Yeah. Especially that cancel off of those grunt reinforcements, that's really tricky to do.
Yeah, just getting them to spawn as well.
Yeah, there's that.
And then camo cycles and all of this. Just living is... It's so rare. I put in probably 100 of attempts that made it to this point. This is the only one that made it.
Yeah. A lot harder than it looks.
Yeah. And here this saves like 4 frames. Hell yeah. We had a silly idea of going off the right and like sword flying with a nade behind us and saving like half a second, but I couldn't ever land it.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if it's doable. It should be doable, but we're not sure. We never did it, so this is what happened.
Yeah, you would think so.
I know the music and the fog and all that changing is really silly there, but that's what happens when you revert in Halo 2. You'll see a little bit of more what looks inconsistent here.
Yeah, I see it on the start of this level as well. Yeah. So the reason I'm killing my teammates here is it helps with the dialogue skip that we do. So we've got the standard dialogue skip that you do in full game or ILs. Killing the elites along with the grunts at the start, it saves like an extra 4 seconds on top of the normal dialogue skip. It's kind of hard to explain how it actually works, but I essentially have to go back up to the start of the level there, where the room is with the glass floor. I have to go there at a certain time, and also have half just be stood in a certain spot, and it will essentially overlap 2 characters' dialogues instead of playing them one by one. I think it saves like 10 to 12 seconds overall.
Yeah, and it's super grindy to get this version of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Funny thing about this level is I actually did the second half first, because this part was so RNG heavy to do.
Wonderful, really. Got an amazing door time here as well.
Yeah, standard popcorn room here. We've obviously got the fuel rod that we carried over.
This door starts opening at like 107?
Yeah, it started opening at 107. That's the fastest I've ever had.
Amazing. Context, normal like fast full game is like 10 seconds slower than that.
Yeah, a good 10 seconds.
That Arbiter split was a 220, by the way. Which is pretty speedy. Much faster than Armory. Yeah, now it's nap time. You didn't even kill things on this elevator, you just stood there.
Yeah, I probably should have actually made it a bit more interesting. I really couldn't have the ground in popcorn room, I was like, nah, fuck it.
I do not blame you. Popcorn room is just awful.
Yeah.
Fun fact, there is a way to skip this part. It requires 2 players, but with all the op stuff Mono's doing, this might be single player skippable doable at some point.
Yeah, I think it will be eventually.
We'll have arbitrary code execution as well. This is where this silly man just sits in this corner.
Yeah, big mistake, big mistake.
Big mistake. So let's talk about this run.
Pretty fast so far.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. Yeah. A little bit of context here. I think most people are pretty used to seeing at least legendary runners start Arbiter around 20 to 21 minutes, 22. And we ended up starting in the 15s. It's pretty hauling. Maybe we could explain what's actually going on here. So in Halo 2, enemy aggro works a little strangely. So the entire body of Rocats here is exposed, but his head is in a wall. And for some reason that means the enemies can't see him. So literally just being an ostrich, sticking your head in the dirt, it's a legitimate speedrunning strat. How cool is that?
It is indeed.
And actually, when I was doing the glass clip segment on Arbiter prior to this, turns out if you fail glass clip on Legendary, just keep your head in the wall, and the elites behind you aren't going to shoot, and you can get your shields back that way.
This game is so weird.
Yeah. So, I guess there's no drawback to ever trying glass clip on Legendary now, too.
Yeah, good point.
Yep.
I think we're getting towards the end of the elevator here soon.
Yeah, I think so.
Not really sucks is that I'm so used to having the in-game timer up so that I know when to drop.
Yeah.
No, I don't have it.
I mean, the sentinels are here and your elevator's turning. It's going down in like 20 seconds.
Just get in there. Get in there.
This run is going to be uploaded to both of our channels afterward. I'll have the raw gameplay and we'll have the commentary run here on his channel. Here we go. Time for the almost exciting half. Your second half of this level looked really clean.
Yeah, I was super happy with it.
The
I think the
final
lab
time is
fight
amazing.
wasn't... Yeah, lab fight wasn't super optimal, but it's still pretty fast.
For what this game is, that lab fight was also nuts.
Yeah. So I essentially have to kill the enemies in a certain order here. Covenant first, then Flood.
If he doesn't kill them in this specific order and things, you know, they'll spawn a lot more. Doing it in the order and the fast is a lot harder than it may seem. But really quick, ended up getting this wave timer started at 4:59.
Yeah, that was surprisingly sub-5 stuff. So basically now you've got 4 combat forms, and they're just going to repeatedly spawn over and over for 60 seconds if you kill them, so instead of doing that we're just going to simply wait for 60 seconds and not kill any of them until that time's passed.
The reason for that is the lab door that opens where we're trying to progress, that area doesn't load and whatnot until this area is finished. And like you mentioned, it's on a timer, it'll keep spawning things more in if any of the flood count drops below 4.
Yeah, that's right.
So, easiest way is, as you know, AI in this game is really silly. And, you know, the flood can get stuck some places and you just spend a lot of time trying to find them. So, it's best to just round them all up at the start of the end of the wave, I guess. Dragging them down, lining them up. There you go.
There you go. So I basically want to kill these enemies here and not allow them to keep that door held open behind me. I want it to lock as soon as possible. I think I did that pretty fast.
I think that's a pretty common misconception. Like, those enemies don't have to die, they just keep the door open. So,
yeah, exactly.
That's why you kill them.
Bring the phantoms close to the mine. You're not leaving until
Here's our first Ghost of Oracle, and I think the last Ghost of the run, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. So I threw that nade to kill a few grunts, which gave me these extra spawns here, so I can do a nice...
Do a nice cancel up top. I think you missed it, but before this I did that ghost at the end of Arbiter. Apparently it's the same BSP. Makes sense, but it's silly.
Yeah.
The elevator isn't loaded though, sadly.
Still funny how I learnt that ghost and super bounce in like 5 minutes. Like, I had never done it before.
Yep.
I actually completed lab fight and forgot that I was on classic and I would have to do some ghosting. And I exited the door and realised. That's when I started to do that segment.
Worked out. It's not that bad. It's just
pretty fast.
terrible full game. Yeah, that whole section being skipped saves like 15 seconds or something silly. It's not that much.
Yeah, I think
And this section's also kind of on a timer.
yeah.
You can't cut the cables until, you know, it finishes. It only takes 3 cuts for the cable, but you know he's doing like a lot more of each. You're just kind of limited.
You can cut 2 cables at once if you cut them, I think it's on the exact same frame, right?
Exact same frame.
Never really been found without a super long setup.
And it would save a lot, but ooh, it's so precise. And you need complicated guns like plasma pistol and beam rifle and something.
Yeah.
Not exactly practical. In a task setting. Anyway, here's the second half of Oracle, which is... The first half didn't exist. This would be one of my more favorite levels for sure. It's really cool. Man.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll stay with you as long as we can.
I still can't get over you triple tapping Y. I've never gotten that habit. It just looks so weird.
Oh, you mean when I do a sword gun? Yeah, I do that without even thinking.
Yeah.
It's such a habit of doing that with like every weapon switch now.
It is. It saves you like frames, doesn't it?
Yeah. So here a Flood and a Sentinel have to die to get extra spawns for this next room. Which I can do this straight.
so fast.
Yeah, I really like that strat.
Surprised you did not for the cancel here. But I mean, you didn't get carry response for it anyway. It's like the one part on Classic that's the same as H2A for the most part, which is surprising.
Yeah, basically. I like this segment here.
This looks so clean. So good.
It's so nice. So I do this little cancel strat here to get to the heretic leader a little bit faster. I don't even know if that saves time compared to just jumping up the Phantom. I think it does, like a tiny amount.
It should save a little, and it makes this flying path with the tube shorter, so it saves time. Might not seem like it.
Yeah, and here it's just on a timer. You have to wait for him to finish his dialogue before you can attack him. And you just got to do that 3 times.
It's always the villains who monologue that get killed. Remember that, kids? If you ever become a super villain, don't monologue. Never works out.
But where are the weapons, Arbiter? What was the result? All that time and effort, and the best the Forerunners could do was put
I'm pretty excited for Delta Halo. So
the Halo looks so cool too. And only one more. Almost over.
And now where are these gods the prophets would have?
And the cool thing about killing him early, like this, actually skips monitor speaking for another 20-some seconds as well.
Come, Arbiter.
Yeah.
Let me show you where they were.
That's another thing people usually take for granted. Anyway, that was Oracle in 1047.
1047.
Nuts. There's another Rocats level, and it is beautiful. Get ready.
Yeah. So this was the first level that I worked on for this project.
I liked your first version of this level. It was like a
It's so
201.
slow. No, it was a 204.
204.
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking.
I mean, I'm so glad you redid everything. This is so pretty to watch.
Yeah.
This is my favorite level in the run, I think.
Covenant has control of the bridge ahead.
I think mine is Gravemind.
Gravemind's super good too.
Wraiths on the far side.
You did also, you just did all the amazing levels. They were all pretty to watch.
Yeah. I kind of just joined this project and yoinked all the cool levels.
I mean, I couldn't land half of this stuff anyway. It's good that you did. Coming up
This
here.
part was...
Oh,
Sorry,
go ahead. Oh, you go ahead.
I was gonna say this part was actually surprisingly hard because I kept getting ghost spawns, so not only would I die, I also never got a checkpoint coming out here.
Oh yeah. That happens.
Careful, we're
What we did there, I know we didn't show the white flash. We weren't about to spend an hour segmenting that entire segment just to get the white flash, but we picked up the Envy Skull, which gives the Master Chief camouflage. And that, you know, that really helps for everything in this run.
Nice places.
Is the infamous 6.77 strat.
Yep, save 6.77 by the way. The actual time save is 2 seconds, but you know.
Odd. The Covenant know we made landfall, but they don't seem to consider us.
This ending was so clean too. I love it.
Yeah, I was happy with this clear.
It was a 152 Delta Halo.
Yep, 152.
40 seconds faster than Armory, by the way. And here we have
The
regret.
funny thing is that was... There we go.
No, you go ahead. I'm not doing anything important here.
I was gonna say, when I segmented that level on H2A, that was a 157, and that's a faster game, so I was very surprised to get a 152 on this one.
Yeah. Really worked out.
Yeah.
So here we have regret. I kind of got on the gondola early. I didn't get on it immediately. Doesn't matter. You just need to activate it quick. And the weirdest part about segmenting this is I had to figure out a way to get this Phantom to spawn at that exact time to get what I'm trying to set up here. It's not easy. It can spawn anywhere in a 20-second window, so I was at it for a while.
Yeah.
It's kind of just luck. It's based off of like enemy aggro and whatnot. But love the lighting changes with checkpoint reverts.
Sniping the hunter isn't exactly an easy thing to do.
No, it's so hard. Because the hitbox is weird. and it's so far away.
The Covenant's getting nosy. I don't want
So
to
in short, what this strat is pretty much overlapping 3 different triggers to do what you're about to see here.
all the support you're
Action,
gonna
which
get.
means
Understood, ma'am.
It's like a half-second window as well. And then here we go.
were you trying to kill something?
Magic.
So clean.
So there's not a whole lot to explain to that. We're not entirely sure how it works. Nails is the one who figured out it can be used for like speedruns in that
There's a submerged section that connects
type of
the
setting.
I mean,
guess.
Nails figures out everything.
Yeah, because he's a genius.
Yeah.
One
Six
day.
head.
Unless you prefer to
But we know how to recreate it.
Yeah. What was that fuel rod time, by the way?
125 or 6. I think it was 6. Low
Damn.
126. There's also a way to clip into this elevator here, which I was doing for swag, but it's so inconsistent and doesn't save any time that I just didn't. So I wanted to get frags for the end of the level here. Grinding for like 2 frags and whatnot is just awful. Hopefully this marine likes nades. I just teleport to it. How fantastic.
So did we ever figure out that if the underwater gondola rides here were slower on classic?
They are.
Or was that just a... Yeah. Because I never knew that.
It's like 3 seconds slower than H2A each one of them. It's silly. And the gondolas are a little
I don't
bit
get why.
faster too. I don't know why either.
Brett
Yeah.
jumped the gun when he attacked Earth.
We can call it like just tick rate being tick rate, but you'd expect it to be some
Yeah.
larger increment, you know.
Human presence
Not
was foretold.
3 seconds.
That explains why there were so few ships in his fleet. But it's odd a prophet would have such bad intel.
Kinda
Did you get any
love them.
fish in this run?
I didn't. I had it on one of them, but I botched the movement afterward.
Oh no.
Yeah. Which was very sad. I love this level so much. It's definitely one of my
Yeah, this
also
is really
favorite
cool.
levels in the run. If those underwater gondolas didn't exist, this level would be like perfect. Just perfect
Yeah, it'd be so
entertainment.
good.
This is really clean movement though, all around. One of the nice spots where camo comes in handy. Actually, I don't even think I used it. Never mind. Normal settings, yeah. Actually push the hunter back with that sword as well. Keep movement on through there. The fly across the hall.
This is a nice squad.
There's the sword. And I'm not gonna do the walk off. I didn't have a checkpoint. It saves 2 frames. That underwater section was done in what, like under a minute for sure. I don't actually know the actual time.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I timed it on H2A, but I've completely forgotten it now.
That section casually.
Regrets
There's
carrier
so many
just
things to
received a
kill.
response from High Cherry.
So many snipers,
A
all the
very
hunters.
well-encrypted
Yeah.
message.
Drones, dinosaurs, oh my.
Listen to this. Your haste has jeopardized the fulfillment of our covenant.
Sorg says
Threatened
you would have
our
done the
grand
walk off,
design.
and you probably would have,
That
but
you
you're
should be
better than me, so I
spared
can
a public
just
Probably
say
would have, to
that.
be fair. I
Thanks
gotta
only
save
to
those
mercy
frames.
and wise counsel.
I wanted to,
Truth, mercy,
but it's so
regret,
hard to get that
3
camouflage to
Yeah.
line up.
Killing
No
regret
big deal.
should shake up the covenant leadership.
I'd get it like
But frankly, it
maybe
sounds
once
like
every
you might be
30
doing
attempts.
Truth a favor.
Really?
It's that inconsistent, yeah, it's fun. Anyway, that's the end of that underwater gondola.
Yep, that was fun.
Here's something that was fun, but also at nails. You didn't think it was possible.
Yeah. Weird.
Rocats and him did a H2A segmented run, and they didn't do this strat coming up.
Yeah. I just assumed he knew it was possible and just couldn't be bothered to do it. But, nope.
It's a really good slide for Classic.
Yeah, that was really nice.
H2A can get just like straight to the gondola easily, but Classic
How's it going,
momentum
you two?
carrying physics are
So
a
far,
lot
so
sillier.
good. We're approaching the main temple now. Roger that. I'm as close to the
So,
library as I can
the
get.
weirdest
There's
part
some
about
sort
this
of
strat
barrier. We're trying to find
is
out
you
about
need the
you.
right
We're
set of
really on the
banshees, both in health and in positioning. Not only to live, I want to get a banshee into position. It's not easy. You also have to get a jank stick so he actually dies in one as well. But notice how the banshee isn't damaged. I need that. I only have 5 melees before this thing blows up.
Why was it only 5?
Yeah, it's only 5. So, getting it into position's really difficult. I just had to hope for the best. This one looked like the best thing I had. Put on here.
Go with it.
Yeah, waited for the checkpoint, you know, made those backup saves. Got the checkpoint, and here we go.
That was a super early launch too.
Yup. That saved like 17 seconds over the easy launch I did last year.
Jesus.
And then here we have the old man fight. We gotta punch him 5 times before he dies. I got lucky enough where I could manip the first 2 relatively consistently, so I could grind for the last 2 that I needed. The weird part about this section I found is like it's actually kind of on a timer. You notice I didn't board this guy immediately,
Oh, really?
but he still disappears at the same time he normally would.
Alright.
Because I actually got another one that was faster than this, but I didn't delay the checkpoint. So it ended up being slower by a few frames. Yeah. This time, in this one I remember to delay the checkpoint, saved a couple frames, and it dipped just under 739 at 738. In like 28 frames, I think.
It's so fast for a grind.
So fast, 7.5 minutes. Jesus. We're out of there in like 36 minutes as well. That's like 50 minutes in a normal run.
36. And we go from that level to this level, unfortunately.
I mean, you made it look cool.
Yeah, it's not exactly the most exciting level, but I still tried to make the movement pretty optimized.
Some pretty good for classic launches there as well.
Yeah, they're pretty hard to get.
Does this thing up here even save time? I don't think it does.
I have no idea, I just did it for swag.
It just looks cool.
Only reason I did it.
I'm cool
I saw
with
Mono
that.
doing it on H2A, so I thought, let's go for it.
Doesn't matter, looks cool. Probably keeps you at whatever cycle you had for the button anyway.
Yeah.
We got another. Did you get the lucky grunt? I don't have audio. You probably don't have audio. He just says lucky when he goes down.
Alright, no, I don't have audio.
Alright, hopefully chat knows.
So if I remember correctly, I think this was a 125 button.
It was, yeah.
Which is pretty good for classic.
Definitely. Fun part about that button is if you just press it, everything in the area dies a few seconds later.
Yeah.
No reason. I don't think you looked at the brood either, did you? So that
No, I
brood
was
on the
just gonna
ground.
say I should. Don't
Sure,
care
he
about the
blinks.
view.
Not dead. He's just pretending to be dead. Does he blink in H2A in new graphics?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Neat. I didn't know they'd add that animation in.
Was it actually intentional in the first place on classic, or?
I have no clue. I don't think so, because on QZ there's a sentinel that shoots needlers. I think it's just an oversight they forgot to take out.
Right, yeah.
The swaggy stick.
Yeah, I like the strap.
I don't even know how that landed there. That feels like that landed there so fast.
Yeah, so all that has to die is that Enforcer, and this door will open.
I think this next hallway, we debated doing a couple ideas for it, but the one we ended up with, I'm glad we did, because it looks cooler.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. Kinda had sloppy movement here, dropping down this piston, but very
That's
minimal
fine.
time.
It still bounced you forward.
We'll hold down as long as we can.
Yeah.
The frags. Here he goes. Want to explain how this works?
So essentially, you're meleeing towards an enemy, you're then cancelling that melee by pressing X, and then you jump and shoot at the same time. And if you kill the enemy, you're going to carry momentum from the melee's lunge, and essentially go flying past his body. Probably my favourite trick to do in Halo 2.
It looks really nice. You're just shotgunning something and flying forward for no reason.
Yeah, it looks very strange.
I'm glad you opted for the shoddy cancel there instead of the factory explosion or whatever that thing is.
Oh yeah, that's pretty slow.
Yeah. Still on H2A on Classic, you get all the way to the other end. It's weird.
Yeah, true.
I don't understand it.
A very convenient checkpoint here.
Nice nerdy movement with your slideshow
Yeah.
frame.
I knew people were going to comment about that as soon as I did it.
I mean, I'm all for it. Gotta go fast, right? We barely dipped under what we were trying to do.
Yeah. So, sliding down these tubes fast on Classic was surprisingly hard.
Yeah, you have to do some
Like,
weird
hit the
crouch
corners.
timing.
Yeah, hit the corners just right.
H2A, is it really just like holding crouch, right?
That's literally all it is, yeah.
That's amazing.
So great, so great.
Yeah, this level's pretty long. This and QZ are like the longest
Yeah.
levels in the run. Actually, no. I mean, Regret's longer, but that and Oracle, everything else was like
well.
well under
Everything else is
10
pretty
minutes.
short, yeah.
Yeah. Way under 10 minutes.
Yeah, easily.
I don't even know how you did this section. Did you get a checkpoint at the gate there? The door?
That was actually a custom checkpoint there.
It's super clean.
I did the tubes. Yeah, I did the tubes and didn't get the swordplay spawn, so then I went back and got the spawn and cut it together. Looked pretty good.
Oh, absolutely.
What are you doing?
It was good enough for me, the guy who like
Smallest cabins will
went nerd saving frames on our
Yeah.
splices. Didn't even notice it.
Yeah, so there are 6 waves at this fight, so I'm pretty much just killing everything off spawn. The nice thing is you get a checkpoint for 5 of them. I don't know why you don't get it on one of them, but you get a checkpoint before each one, so I can memorize the spawns and pretty much kill everything off spawn.
The next wave will start as soon as there's only like 1 enemy left alive, I believe, so
Yeah, that's right.
if it looks like it's kind of slow, it's really not. Also, 6 waves coming in weird flood counts. There's like 2 waves of 2, 2 waves of 4, and then 2 waves of 6s. It's random order.
Yeah.
It all works out.
Dangerous nine.
Can't believe SI is the longest level in the run after Oracle. It's so weird.
Yeah, that's pretty weird now that I think about
Never
it.
the case in full game. This is the last wave, or is there one more? I can't remember. I don't even count.
No, there's one. I think this is a wave where I didn't get a checkpoint, so I had to improvise a little bit. I think the next wave is the last one.
I think they spawn near you if I remember right. Yeah, okay, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the last one when I stuck this guy.
Clean rockets too. That wave was over
Yes.
just because that was the last flood anyway, so.
Yeah.
The end of this level's a little strange. You kind of wait for the Phantom to come in. The carriers don't actually have to die. Like, I don't even think you ended up killing that one in this one. But
Yeah. I think that one there blew up, but the popcorn was still alive, but the level still ended.
yeah. As soon as the Phantom stops moving, it can end after 6 seconds, and it did, even though it's like shooting and whatnot. It's
Yeah.
silly. The game just has to think that the area is safe. And well, that's super arbitrary. Anyway, here's Quarantine Zone. That was SI in 754. This is one of the more fun levels to do, I think.
Yeah, this is cool. Except for the gondola ride.
Yeah. Afterwards, nice though.
Oh yeah, the ending. Super excited for that.
I think the checkpoint here before this launch is so painful. It really never happens. I had to redo the start so many times. I also couldn't actually ever live in any version of that launch that I did here without camoing, so that's why I camoed and hopped out for half a second. Actually ended up losing like half a second to your H2A thing there. And I was like, you know, I lived.
Oh, really?
It's fine. That launch is hard enough to do.
Yeah, all that matters.
I can't wait for task tools to be available. Just to see some ridiculous things people do. That's so hard to do fast. Both of those.
It really is.
Super underrated speed. This is really quick. And hitting the trigger here too. While also going that far.
Yeah, boosting
Unnecessarily
full
hard. For the most part though, I don't think there's anything else except for the gondola ride, right? Oh, except for up here. So, without going into too much detail, the way this game works with checking for triggers is on some random cycles depending on when you start the levels. So I got like a super late cutscene here. Just a custom splice and I got an earlier one. It saved like 2/3 of a second. It was weird. Anyway, here's a gondola. It's gonna be here for 5 minutes. Recommend a bathroom break, grab a snack, get some water, something.
Yeah, nap time part 2.
A little bit of a intermission, you know, we've been sitting here for 40 minutes. Good time to get up and walk around.
It's kinda nice to have a break.
Yeah. Can't believe we're on the gondola in 46 minutes, what the heck.
46.
It's like the time you get out of regret on a super insane run.
Can't believe you didn't fight the enemies on the gondola.
No, there's a good reason for that. I would've. But if you alert the enemies, this is just for people. Like, I want to make things as entertaining as possible, but if you fight the enemies down there, you can't go for a sword fly at the end, and that's what we're doing.
That is true, yeah. Yeah.
We need them alive. We need them to not be running around all over the place and having their AI activated. That's why I also killed our teammates. Yeah, fantastic. Want to play rock, paper, scissors while we wait? Do what Shen and I did in the GDQ run?
Good, man.
Alright, I chose paper. What'd you choose? He did.
I chose scissors.
Lost. Oh, I lost. F. So, fun fact. I know Mono's been working on this. He was at least telling me. Or he did something. So, with the op stuff, I don't remember what op stands for. I haven't been around for this.
I couldn't even tell you.
You can spawn in as a phantom with a little bit of setup. He's trying to find a faster way. His current setup is like 32,000 bullets shot required or something. But if you get to this point in the level, you can arbitrary unit possession. There we go. Thank you. You can, as a phantom, you can fly straight to the end. Like, and it's super quick too, obviously, because the phantom's just insanely fast. But if you find a faster way to do the AUP, arbitrary unit possession, co-op for this game would be a little ridiculous. You'd be skipping like everything. And I'm pretty sure that's in the short future. It'll be neat to watch.
Can't remember if the anybody's got a full game record with any of those tricks. I don't think anybody has. A co-op full game?
Yeah, I don't think so. I know Mono could, because some of the things are super consistent and save minutes.
Yeah.
Just plays co-op with someone. We're almost to the end, guys. Anyway, you see the flutter here. Lined up.
Yeah.
Actually, with the op stuff, I think co-op should be under an hour.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
It definitely has to. It's the Cairo and the Outskirts stuff. Then I think the Banshee...
Yeah, true, I forgot about Cairo.
There's some giant skip on Oracle. Oh, elevator skip on Oracle, yeah, that. I could definitely be sub 1 hour, for sure, easily. Easily, that'd be amazing to watch. Just to have the first game under an hour that isn't segmented. Anyway, we got about a minute to the end here. Here's my very not setup. I don't know what I was doing, I was just kind of trying different stuff at this point. But it worked out.
I've never actually used a setup for this. I know everybody seems to use a precise setup, I kind of just wing it every time.
I do too. I don't really use this.
Get like a rough lineup.
I started doing something recently, I don't remember what it was. Recently, you know, last time I did runs, a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I didn't even use that for this, I kind of just did what I thought would be fast, and... You know, I kind of did something faster than both the H2A runs on an accident, and it makes it look like I know what I'm doing, and that's the important part.
I don't think you guys are ready for this fly.
I wasn't ready for it. I did like 2 frame perfect crouch boost nonsense on slants, and well, something happened. Yeah, so I just kind of slid across the ground there at high speed. I didn't lose anything. And if you know how momentum works on Classic, that doesn't make any sense.
Fully intentional.
Yeah, fully intentional, by the way. 714. Anyway, here's Gravemind.
Rocats did Gravemind. Oh.
The faster you can kill those brutes, the better.
In 51 minutes.
51 minutes. Yeah, this first room was actually surprisingly awkward to segment, so just like Oracle, I did the second half first. It's the best way.
It really is.
I don't think so.
It's one of the super RNG heavy things.
Yeah. So here I'm doing a deload. You may have seen the one in the doorway off to the right. This gives you the same result, it's just a little bit less precise.
Yeah.
I have to wait a certain amount of time for the next wave of enemies to spawn in.
The way it works is the game checks what side of the room you're on. Like there's 2 axes for it. And it tries to spawn enemies on the other side. But you stand in like the direct center, it's pretty precise. Only a few pixel leeway. It'll just skip enemies entirely. It'll try to spawn them on the other side, but you're on both sides, and it's like, okay, I'll just not spawn them at all.
Got a pretty fast clear here as well.
Yeah. Pretty quick podium, right? 129 or so?
Yeah, it was a 129 podium. Another thing, I also chose to not pick up the carbine from one of the brutes up top, just to save an extra couple of seconds. Didn't want to waste any time picking it up. Yeah. So I had to do a bit of an improvised strat in the next room to get a carbine.
Which doesn't lose time, by the way, because it's on a timer. It's a short timer, but it's a timer.
That's right.
People seem to think it's not, but it is.
You've got to take it from him.
Yeah, like, you can melee cancel through this next room and it doesn't even save time.
Just
it's walking.
But if you don't do it for the swag, you just... Why even bother?
Yeah, you gotta do it. So I camo just late enough to where they can see me and start running forward, and then I get a carbine.
I'm really glad you did all this, because I cannot melee cancel for the life of me. Or at least this well, off of like brutes and stuff, you know. Something
it's really hard. This level would be so much harder if I didn't have camo, now that I think about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. We ended up saving at least 20 something, right? Over H2A just from...
Yeah, on H2A.
From being able to go through these halls.
Yeah, like I'd never be able to do this without camo.
Surprised what prison skip you ended up going for here, but I loved it.
Yeah, this is slightly faster than the strat where you let the brutes go up the lift and then come back down.
Yeah.
Kinda came up with that last berserk brute strat.
There are 2 groups of Marines in this detention block.
Here's where the good stuff begins.
We don't need to save Marines either. These guys are chumps, they're just gonna die up here anyway.
Marines are just inside. Careful of the guards.
This looks so clean, help.
Yeah. It took a while to get.
Like the frame save too, with cutting your momentum on the top of the fin or whatever that's called.
Yeah, yeah.
End up using a lot of custom checkpoints because, you know, Gravemind doesn't give any of them.
Yeah. Classic Gravemind.
By the way.
This is my favorite strat.
Oh, it's so clean. You hit that fly right there so fast, too.
Yeah, I went such a high speed there.
Triple tap Y on the sword.
Yeah, again.
Not used to it.
I've got a fix on Truth just outside this tower, Chief. There's an exit nearby. Hurry.
I'm surprised. You did this in like one segment, didn't you? That cancel into this and then the grunt fly?
Well, this crouch out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all one.
Including this?
You got grunt fly here? No, that wasn't included.
Oh, it looks like it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good splice there, but that was actually very hard to hit without getting mid-air stop.
Oh, yeah,
And also getting a momentum carry all the way to the lift.
Sure. Had like 4 cuts at the door there to make it look seamless. To keep momentum. Yeah. It's nice though.
Yeah, it looked good.
Gravemind's so fast.
Didn't actually carry momentum with this Jackal cancel here, but I don't think it lost time.
I don't think so. Yeah, you would have been waiting for the fly anyway.
Tiniest.
Maybe a few frames, but
yeah.
That's it. Got some good drones too, where they fly up to the top of the room and hit the death plane.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Super weird RNG here with the brutes. And everything's dead.
2 more transponders. It's the commander and Johnson. They're closing on Truth's position, Chief. They'll need your help.
It's a nice level.
Yeah, really satisfying
too. Started showing off because, you know.
You know, I just had to.
Gotta. For the fans. 624 Sorg says. Fun fact, this is a 558.
Yep.
And here's another amazing level.
Yeah, another level by me. This is the shortest level in the run, right?
Yep. I'm so glad you were able to put in the things of my dreams into this. Pull them off and make them work. Love these strats, but just
yeah, I'm really happy.
Not possible to do in full game.
I think this strat going to the left here saves like half a second compared to going to the right.
Yeah, it's
maybe a second.
It's not much, but it looks clean.
Yeah.
And you usually get blocked there, so going through that room is like not as easy as it seems.
Yeah, that was really hard.
And then the
this
cancel.
Was all one segment as well.
The thing I told you I did once that I've never done again, and you grinded for it like a mad lad.
That was the first time I ever hit that cancel, and I somehow got a perfect one all the way to the other side of the room. So I went with it.
It worked. I love it.
I can't even explain how this works. I'm not familiar enough with Classic.
Okay, so when you're in the middle of a sword lunge, the game ignores falling mechanics. You store that property by getting in the ghost in the middle of one, so you can just bypass the fall timer. Yeah. Anyway, here's High Charity. Uprising was 114, by the way, super quick. So, High Charity here. This was an IL, basically, by me. It was very, very low effort. I cannot stress that enough. Grinding this trick, especially in an IL, is just so stupid. But we beat the IL record by like 5 seconds or something. It's a 2:05 at the end, spoiler alert. But that's all we were going for. I mean, I would have gone sub 2, I think. If you could fall the same way on Legendary as you can on Easy. So you can't drop as far on Legendary because For whatever reason, the Flood like takes fall damage and dies after a few of them. So you can't just push it to its limit, I guess. So after enough grind of a horrible start and just getting the Flood to live, I'm like, alright, 205 is good enough. And yeah.
Yeah, still speedy.
It's definitely fast. You know, it beats the IL record by a non-negligible margin.
Yeah. I really like this strat, free fall.
Which, I mean, we knew it saved time, but it saves so little time unless you truly push it to where you're about to die to the fall timer. And even then, it's only like 8 seconds total if you do every single fall that way. So, I didn't really care for it to do it, you know, and like, you know, back when I was doing runs, ILs, all that, because high charity. But for this, I tried to actually learn it and do it properly, and, you know, good end result. It was fast. We'll take it. But yeah, you're only like 4 or 5 drops and the Flood's dead for sure. If you don't put enough time in between. That's why I'm just dropping normally. And there we go, high charity.
How are we on the last level already?
No, it's been an hour. So,
Went by so fast.
it was a great journey. I kind of did this last minute. It's going to be one of those weird levels, just a warning, where it doesn't look fast in some sections, but it's so much faster than anything else I tried, just because of how stuff lined up. But, you know, mark the Spectre, grab a ghost, go on and buy. We're just going to try to drive through this level as fast as we can. Camo here just because the race kept blowing up my ghost otherwise. I couldn't get him in a nice spot except for this, but it worked out pretty well, I think. I think the double nade, if you do it twice, is technically doable, but what a grind that would be.
Yeah, I've never tried that on the Legendary.
Nail strat where you bump and it rotates the ghost in the right way.
Oh yeah.
It's so fast for like no reason, I love it. This jump was just so perfect too.
That was so clean.
This bridge with the ghost blowing up like boosted me forward. It was weird. It's so awkward to navigate because clearly you're not supposed to have a vehicle. But here we go. Took a few shots to kill brutes here, but every time I did this, I never got the door open and these brutes stuck back here. A clean enough drive-through where it was that fast. I ended up just taking that one.
What was the cutscene time on this? I forgot.
It was like 1:47, I think. Super quick.
Really?
Yeah. Which I did cheat out a little bit of the waiting just to match your H2A timing, just because of the cutscene.
Yeah, I got really lucky.
It's RNG, how long you have to wait. So.
How do you like it?
You know, not the cleanest splice, but whatever, you're standing still.
It's fine.
I think these rates here only saves like 2 or 3 seconds, which is interesting, because it's actually really easy to do on Legendary, I found.
I was thinking that when I did it on H2A as well.
Yeah.
Actually, not that bad.
It's really not. I mean, getting to them without the ghost obviously probably seems a lot more difficult, but if you can ghost strats, why not? Save free time. And my Spectre was dead, so I had to use a different checkpoint here. I wouldn't pay attention to the dead bodies not being in the right spot. I can say that though. We did take the Spectre into the final room. And the reason for that is, it just ended up so much being faster than not doing it. At least consistently. I don't think I've ever had as fast as a fight as I did with the Spectre than I have without.
Yeah. She never seems to die when you do no Spectre strats.
Yeah.
And it takes forever.
You can, but you just need the luckiest Johnson in the universe, and
Yeah, exactly.
I gave it a few tries, it just did not work out. The best I got was like 125 fight, I think, clearly, which is fairly slow. I'll explain a little bit about what I'm doing here. The ending trigger cutscene to get into the final fight extends outside of the building for some reason. And if you get vehicles up and over to where you want them to be, you can actually take them into the final fight. It works with every vehicle, I believe. Just need to be going into the vehicle, or into the cutscene with the vehicle. Also provide some time where it just looks silly when you're driving around where you'd be waiting normally. I'm also now realizing just how fast all of this is. Even though I know the final time and all that.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Nuts.
Really loving all these auto-scrollers.
Yeah. I put a fun meme video out about that yesterday, you know. The in-betweens are so nice.
Yeah, they really are.
Get up here right into position just a little bit before Johnson is. This was also kind of tricky because I tried to get in the cutscene like frame 1 while also taking the Spectre. And that sort of drop is hard to do. To at least get the Spectre to live anyway. You have to like go early. You also have to look at the door here so he blows up things quick.
Hey, bastards! Knock, knock!
Is that coming?
I hope everybody's guessing what the final time is. Can't see chat, but...
You could probably guess already. Not that fancy. So I should probably say the Tartarus invincibility works a little weird here. Like, regardless of what you do, if you go to like the platform in the middle and then go back up and get like Spectre and all that, or if you do what I did here and just go down the Spectre, flip Johnson out, all that. He stays invincible for the same amount of time. You can get him to be stop invincible faster if you just go immediately without Spectre or any of that. Then your fight's slow because you don't have extra Johnsons dropping shields and doing damage.
Yeah.
For some reason, like, I tried this fight for a while too. I got this fight early on, and it was the fastest.
How do I stop
I only got one that was moderately close, and that was only 3 seconds slower.
Quit stalling.
Because of these last shots right here, right in his face, and he's not punching me.
Yeah.
You can't do that normally, like, ever.
Not until that fruit is dead.
Now we wait
There
10
it is.
seconds. Yep. The boss fight, so can we stay safe? There it was. Halo 2 on Legendary segmented 107.52. That was a fantastic project to do. Really happy with how it
Yeah, this
turned
is really
out.
fun, man.
Really glad our time investment was worth it too, even though it wasn't a crazy amount.
Yeah.
Our original
3.5
goal.
weeks.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 weeks total, and we didn't even play every day.
Yeah.
A couple sessions, or a couple hours a session.
Yeah.
Our original goal was to be like, try to get below H2A, you know, maybe push for a 108. And then
Yeah,
things
actually it was
just
mid 109.
things just kept adding up, and we pushed out a 107 in like the last second. It was insane.
Yeah, super happy with how it turned out.
For reference, the old one, you know, from 2011 is like a 130, 50 something RTA. It's a little bit of an improvement, you know, like
What's
Yeah, just
that?
entirely.
What's it
pretty
doing?
solid.
Communicating at superluminal speeds.
Anyway, I don't have much else to say. I just want to say thank you again. You know, this has been my dream for 5 years now to do.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
One reason or another, I never got around to it. So,
Yeah, this was fun, man. Really enjoyed it.
thanks to you, thanks for the people watching.
Remote
And
activation.
I got nothing else to say. We'll just let the cutscene play out.
Listen,
Unless you got
Tinkerbell,
something.
don't make me.
Then where?
No, that's
Where
it.
would someone go to activate?
I was just gonna ask you, you're gonna keep streaming?
No, not at all.
I didn't think so.
Where, Oracle, is that?
Alright, I'm gonna head off then.
Sounds
Thanks for
good.
watching, guys.
GG. This will be up on his channel later. No commentary on mine. Once again.
Got a new contact.
There you have it.
Unknown classification.
Pleasure doing business with you, my friend.
Take it out.
This
you
is
too, man.
Spartan 117. Can anyone hear me? Over.
Isolate that signal. Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Sir, finishing this fight.